If you've been following along for some time, and if you get the free newsletter, and there's a version of the free newsletter in the description below, if you are getting this and you're looking at what we do here, BPA stands for buy price area. That's an area that where we just suggest that you should look at possibly buying 690. Okay, these are just ideas that I come up with where I could be taking positions in them, things along those lines. It's for educational purposes, but what you're seeing here, and let's clean up all these lines for a moment. What you're seeing here is this is where we started buying down here. We waited for it to break, and then we just flipped and played this little doji. If you don't know these little patterns, there'll be a candlestick video at the end that will explain it. Okay, why am I showing you this? Because this is not done. Let me put this line back. You can clearly see we broke there. And why am I saying that? Well, when you were down here, these were trading at roughly 30% of all biotechs were trading at cash, okay? You haven't seen that in 2 decades. So the correction in biotech was worse than the pandemic. Now, unless you're a fundamental analyst and you crunch those kinds of numbers and you drill into them, you're not going to know that. But a lot of us that have been in the industry for a while, we know that, and we know how to pull that data up fairly quickly. So when you see those kind of anomalies, it doesn't mean that you're going to stop going down right away, but it does mean that you should start paying attention to the index as a whole. So we did start acquiring it down here, traded it up, added it again at 690, added it again at 10. I still have this entire position. I actually think that you're heading back to here before the end of the year. I mean, it's just a matter of time before everybody starts to realize that some of these companies are completely depressed in value, like you're seeing GBT, right? Just like that, the more of those that go, the more people are going to start searching for the next company. As they search for the next company, they're going to start running scans. Those scans are going to say, give me everything that's trading under cash value, then everything under book value. And you're going to come up with a list of names. The majority of those names right now are probably still biotech. So I think this can easily get to our first target, which is going to be, I'm just saying here, but I really think you're going to get up to that 15 level. Let me find that level that I was looking at right there, really. I think that this is pretty much next week. Quite frankly, it could easily be. But this is my target. That's what I was saying by the end of the year when I was buying down here. Because you don't know what's going to happen, right? There's ways to look at this chart. When you're buying right here, you're just predicting. There's no real pattern. We have these 2 patterns down here with these tweezers, right? So if you look at, again, I'll link that video at the end. But if you look at something like that, you're being predictive. We let it come up, pull back down. We know that this is a bullish hook, right? So we know that we're being somewhat constructive, so predictive, constructive. And then when we broke above 10, we bought here, the pullback. And then, of course, you'll always have to go through one day of just absolute flim-flam, right? Where they make you think your hopes and dreams are going to be smashed. And that's when they broke the 21 on me, maybe think they were going to break the 50. And then we pushed right through, right? They always give you that last shakeout just to see, how strong you are. And there they are. Now they're going to just take us higher. And I think that they're going to take us to 15. So don't rule this trade out when it pulls back. And a key thing I really want to leave people with, and we did this in the trading room today because everybody knows how fast this market was this morning. So what we do is we sit there and make sure that we know where our levels are before we go off in the morning. So when you know where your levels are when you go off in the morning and you know that this is your buy area, right, or one of your buy areas, the other one was around $10. But if you know that this is your buy area, when it hits there, you know to act if you see a pattern. So what you do is you have that set up, and then you kind of go from here. Let me just walk you through that. You see that right here. See this right here. Okay, so this is the first 2 minutes. Okay, that's like the mother of all morning stars. I would strongly, let me zoom in on this for you. I would strongly recommend you watch that video. I'm spending a lot of time on LABU because a lot of people are going to say, I missed it. You're going to call the top like you tried to call the bottom. And that does not work. Trade what's in front of you. Let everybody else call the bottom. You focus on making money. So you can see that right here, and you can see that. So when that hit there today, there were people that were in the trading room that just executed. Boom. All you need is your support line and your entry and your exit. Okay? You're up 20% on the day. Just by something as simplistic as understanding pattern recognition and knowing how to draw support and resistance lines. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay. Once you want to overcomplicate something, overcomplicate fundamentals, because that kind of shows you where you should be, not when you should be. But in regards to that, just take a look at this. I mean, this is just going to ladder itself up. And for those that don't want the 3X ETF, this is the other way we've been doing it since about the low 60s or mid 60s. Right here, I think is when we finally bought again. But we did the same thing here, just on the ETF that's not 3X. There's nothing to do here. Okay, show me another one. Show me another sector that is breaking like this, like this, right? There's only one that's come close to it right now that's intact, and it's semis, and they're setting up perfectly. But you flip 97, and this gets up to here. You have a 10% move there or a 30% move in LABU. Yes, I know I'm spending a lot of time with it, but I think it's important. Do not sleep on biotech. I can't be any clearer. I could spend a half hour just explaining to you why biotech is still undervalued. So if you like this clip, click on the left to watch another one, or if you want to see the entire video, click on the right.